All right, we're gonna get started here. Moving some, making some sound adjustments. All right, so we're gonna get started. We'll play a little Space Engineers tonight. Get back into that. See how it goes. See how far we make it. Yeah, we'll go ahead and jump into the game. Get ready to continue from where we left off. So I know we have a couple acquisition missions we can finish up. I would also like to maybe fly the ship around a little bit. I'd like to find another like NPC base, preferably a pirate base, and maybe start the process of what we need to do to take it over. But that'll be a little exploration. Let's kind of take a look at the base though, make sure we aren't forgetting anything else. Give me a second for the textures to load in here. Power wise. So base battery. Fully charged in 2 hours. Fully charged in 3 minutes. Okay. That's another thing I thought about building onto the base is. Oh, we also need to build a better landing spot for the mining ship. That would also probably be a good thing. All right. First things first, let's go get this unknown signal. I also want to put a projector block on each of the ships, so inevitably when we damage them, they're easier to repair. Leopard grinder. Eh. Nothing good. Nothing too wild. I grabbed that. I did. Right, let's grind this bad boy down. Bit by bit. Go. Come on. Where? Yeah, I might make myself a little to-do list so I don't forget. Might not be too bad. We throw us a to-do list board up here on the base somewhere. So what if we did that? It's the biggest text panel we got. That's too big. It's kind of big. I don't know if that's much bigger than we need it to be. So maybe we don't need the biggest one. Could I put it like right there for right now? Rotate that way. Content, text, image, edit text. Check on missions. When you do that, we need projectors on ships. We need landing pad, miner, scout for pirate bases. What else do we maybe need to do? I'm not sure, but luckily we can come back and add things to that list. Let's make that font a little bigger though. Let's set like 3 maybe? That's too much. Set to like 2 maybe? Close enough. That'll work. So we can start checking things off our list. So first things first, let's actually do the projectors on the ships. That's probably one of the more important things we can do. So let's grab a projector block. I'm going to find a relatively safe place to put this, which would really be buried in there somewhere. So I got to remember. Can I see on this side? Oh, nope, that's going to be the tank. Better come in from underneath. I kind of don't want to grind out one of those thrusters just because I have to recreate it. Let's take off. So access spot here from underneath. And this is why we want to remember to do this stuff early. Yeah. Where are we gonna fit this in? Right here. There we go. That's where we'll fit this in. So we have an unloaded block in there. I don't think I can get to it. Can. How about this side? I also have an unloaded block. Let's see if we can reach that. I had a feeling I would have that if I had it on this side as well. Okay. Doesn't really matter which side we put this on. Although now we do need armor block. let's just sneak it in like right here. I also don't remember which way is up for these. Doesn't really matter, so we're gonna have to tweak it anyway. Let's call that. Well, those back in place. Okay, so now we want to take a blueprint of this ship. And to do that, we hit Alt B, right? Control B. Control B. Actually, no, delete. Yes. I want to give this a slightly different name in that I want it to be the air hauler. We'll call it V.0. Okay. Now let's take a blueprint of it. Like that. Color V1.0. That works. So we'll be able to find that now. So now let's come in here. Let's find the, oh shoot. Let's call this AH projector. We're going to give it a blueprint of the air hauler 1.0. Got to keep the projection so it always has it. And now we can see it kind of ghosted here in the background, so we have to get this lined up. Really just need to flip it. So let's. Okay, that's good. It'd be a lot easier if we would have put the projector in the right direction. Okay, let's go back in. Projector. Let's two up, I think there. Okay. That's right. So basically, we can't see any ghosting, so that means that we are directly over top of ourself, which is good. So now we can come in here and say projector. Everything looks good. I don't really even want to see it on my list, so I don't really care. We can turn it off. So now let's do one more bit. And let's do, gotta remember here, we can, I don't think there'll be anything to replace it with. So like I take it, just take it Cool. Screenshot. Let's delete this now that everything, the settings are right. And do a new blueprint. Hauler 1v1 or B10. Good. Jump in here. Grab the projector. Let's turn it on. Let's do blueprint. That. Yeah, I don't think projection about. So here we can see how this is going to work, right? So block is on. So let's say I come out of here and I grind this block out of the way. So now we can see that block's there. Now, without having to place it, because it's there and I have the components for it, I can just straight load it up. So that's how that works. We're going to turn that off. It will only need to be on if we take damage, and then we can turn it on. And I left my lights on. No, actually, I didn't turn off like all the base lights. It did not. Okay. All right. So now we're going to do a similar move here on our mining ship. Figure out where we want to set this projector. It might go right there. And we kind of want it in a protected spot, but that's probably about as protected as it's going to get. One thing I did want to, I think I can swap those for actual access doors. I think. So I think if I do that, then that will actually be something that we can open. Let's. Yeah, so I think I can do an access panel. Let's take the color of it. Let's find out. So I think if I do this, yeah, now that's a openable thing. So we actually have access to that from the bottom, where the other one was a cap that we couldn't do that to. And I think that might need a name as well, but we'll see here after we place the projector. Let's go ahead and it's the S8 projector. Yeah, that access panel is a it's a thing, but we don't ever need to see it or worry about it. It's just going to be there. Okay. So let's come out of here. Get a blue, nope, more bit. Version 1.0. All right, now let's Control B. Stone Ant version 1.0. Good. In here. projector, blueprint, Stone 810. And then let's go to the projector, get all of our settings. First, let's y'all. Pitch. There we go. Okay. Now let's about there, I think. Let's get a better angle. Find the projector. Again, this is a lot easier if you set the projector up the right direction. I probably need to figure that out, but there we go. Oops. No, not pitch. There, I think that's what we want. Now we check that by, let's grind a panel off here. Where'd that go? Oh, because I didn't have, okay. I didn't have keep projection on. That's why. So once it set in place and everything was correct, it was done doing what it needed to do. So it removed a blueprint. So we have it all set. We're gonna have it set to keep the projection, so it doesn't do that to us again. But we don't need it on. So let's toggle all that off. Now we're going to do a similar thing like we did on the last ship. Get rid of our oh, that was the wrong button. Oh shoot. There we go. Yeah. There we go. 10. So now we're going to find our blueprint. We're going to delete that one. Yes. And then we're going to take a new blueprint. Cool. And then we're going to make sure that it is accurate. Ooh, looks good. All right, turn it back off. We can land our ship. Make sure I did a lot of rubbing there. Let's make sure I didn't hurt anything. All right, so we can take that off of our list. cut that off. Let's I would like to get the docking set up for miner. This isn't a bad spot for it, but I would like to take advantage of this port. I think it's just going to be better because it looks weird having a big ship like that hanging off the front. So we're going to need conveyor ports and a connector. So I think we'll there we go. I'm gonna get the color matched. So I think we'll bring the ship, park it kind of right here, facing this way. So we're going to continue this line of reinforced conveyors. Oh. Sure we got the angles right. Yep. So I think maybe right here. We're getting some really weird lighting going on, which sometimes happens. Sometimes the light just passes through the planets, so you get some really weird lighting effects. That seems to be what's happening. Let's put our inset connector right here. There we go. And then we'll have one more of those. And let's put a T section in, just in case we decide to keep moving on this way. I don't think we will, but just in case. Let's get some welding done. I apparently have a bunch of junk in my pockets here too. I need to get rid of. I guess I don't have a bunch of junk, but I do have some. Let's drop that stuff. Oh, we're probably out of things. That's the problem. There we go. Okay. Now let's. I think we're going to need to extend this out one more. Several layers of block here. You know what might look neat is if we change this. What if we said that this is actually concrete? And we can make it Maybe we keep it gray. But if we kind of set all of this as concrete, that might. Oh no, not those. I'll fix that. Didn't mean. I don't want our conveyors to be concrete. I also think I just turned that O2 generator concrete. Not what I meant. This is again why we should probably be doing this with the paint gun. It is a much more exact tool that we do have access to. Just like, and we'll have to for that block because it's got stuff on it, we won't be able to reach it, so. But we can, because we'll be able to target it with the actual paint gun. Okay. Let's go ahead and just concrete essentially all of this. Oh shoot, those shouldn't be. Those shouldn't be concrete, they're actual block. So let's steal that back. Goes that way. Fix this. Fix these. Okay, there we go. Now let's weld up these other blocks here. Or have something not get welded? It's all functional. Okay. Let's grab some iron plates. And we're gonna have to make some more because that's not gonna be enough to get us through. Make like 1,000. All right. Apparently I didn't texture those correctly. Easy fix. Already out. All right, let's steal that and make those. There we go. See, easy fix. See how far a couple hundred get us. I like that we're making concrete with steel plates, essentially. Everybody knows that is the proper ingredients for concrete is steel plates. And let's go ahead so that I can fix all this while I'm thinking about it. Let's make a paint gun if I remember where it's at here. Make a paint gun, make like 100 paints made of almost no gravel, which essentially makes them free. So that's Let's go character tools, grab the paint, and I think we can grab all of it. Okay, let's got to remember how to do stuff here. All right. So we got the color. So scroll is that okay. Concrete. So now we target that block, and it's concrete. Excellent. Come over here, we target that block, and it's concrete. It looks like I may have accidentally turned the cargo container concrete, so we'll have to fix that. Actually, we can get that. Yeah. Cool. I think that's essentially all of them that we can get to. This is on. I don't think I can target. I can. There we go. Don't know if I'm going to be able to get to the ones behind it, but I don't know that we can see those, so I think it's fine. Can I get to the block that's underneath that? Not. Oh, I definitely can from this side, though. There we go. It also helps if we had our lights on. That kind of help us see what we're doing. Yeah, this looks better. All right, so then we have those actual blocks there. And we could do these, but I have to be very careful because some of these show up on the insides. We wouldn't want like those to be concrete unless we put a panel in front of them and then maybe do it if we really cared. I don't know that we do. It's not enough right now. So I'm not so worried about that. But I did kind of want to do this just because I think it looks a little nicer. Another question is, if that enough? I don't think it is. I think we need to go a couple. Oops, there. Let's do like that many. And then we'll bring the miner over and see if it fits. And or by how much it fits. Hopefully it's not too far forward. I don't want those. We may have to move the yeah, we may move those O2 gens because they are a bit closer for what I would like. But we can land there now. That's better. Oh, we got plenty of space back here. That ship is not as long as I thought it was. Okay, well, we'll leave that though. Let's move these O2 gens to. I kind of want to leave that just in case. Could slap them up here. Wouldn't be the worst place for them. There's nothing in them. Oxygen bottle. Oh, got a bunch of oxygen bottles. Okay, let's move those. Okay, let's move this oxygen generator, this O2 generator. Said let's put it. Let's put it there. And then do we have enough space? Yeah, we do. Put another one right here. Let's do that. That one also had oxygen bottles in it, looks like. So let's turn both of these guys off for right now. And let's see what we got in here. Oh, it had a bunch of ice too. Okay. Let's dump all that back in. Thanks here. Oops, wrong button. Go. Nice and easy. Some ice. There are paint gun and paint in there because we don't need to carry it any longer. Right. So we got us a grab that signal. We got us a nice spot for the miner, nice spot for our transport ship. We might even kind of sometimes I like to have like a block or even a half block just so we can get up to it a little easier. So let's see. I mean, it'd be better if we had something with a step on it, but we don't really have that. I don't think. Let's just see though. See, like that's too tall for that, but it's not really great for this either. What about a half ramp? So none of these are super great because this does have a half block. We might be able to get away with. I wonder. It's a little tight. Right, but we could do something like that to make it a little more reasonable for us to get in and out of the ship, but that's I don't know about that. We're gonna have to think about that for a minute. So we may, like this one doesn't really need it. We can get to it right there. It's not a big deal. This is just a little harder to target. In reality, doesn't matter, but we always want to it feels like there needs to be at least some bit of role play to what we're doing. If not, we may as well just be in creative mode. So maybe let's do that. We'll add maybe that onto our list of things is OSHA compliance. Because we need to put some railings off the front of this so we don't fall off. Go. Let's go do our OSHA review. We got a landing pad for our miner now, so we can take that off our list. Okay. All right, so let's do our missions, and then we can go do some scouting. Save the OSHA review for afterwards. So what do we need? Well, we need to hand gather some silicon ore, make solar panels, canvas, girders, detector components. How much silicon do we have? Because that's going to be those are all pretty silicon dependent, although we already have the panels. That's right, because we accidentally made a bunch. We don't have a lot of silicon though, so this is a good excuse to go get some. Even though we have enough for these, I don't know if we have enough for the other stuff. So, oops, what do we say? We needed 30 panels. We have 32, 36 canvas, 200 girder, 10 detector. So let's do canvas. 36. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just make like 200 girders because we're using for other stuff. And 10 detector components. So we've already ran out of silicon. Hopefully, we may have to grab some nickel too. All right, time for a. Let's see, where do we want to go for this? There's silicon and nickel right there, and I think we've already dug it, so that makes the most sense to just keep that. Let's drop some of the stuff that I have in my inventory for some reason. Oh, because I ground down a probe. Okay. Make sure that our ship inventory is empty. Except for a little ice, that's fine. Let's turn off our forward thrust. Head over to the mines. So we'll get some silicon. I think we would just get like a load of silicon and then come back and get a load of nickel. So we should be able to pull that off. Okay. nickel detector on. Spotlights on. Oh, oh, let's do spotlights on. There we go. Nickel's over there. Magnesium's there. So this is our silicon, I believe. Oh, hang on. That's going to be nickel. Where's the silicon at? All right, we're going to take a little expedition here. That is not what I wanted to do. I want to land so I'm not burning. Really? Come on. I want to land so that I'm not burning up hydrogen here. Where did silicon go? Does this hole look like nickel? Yeah, this is definitely nickel. Oh, I saw the silicon for a second. Where'd it go? Let's get it. That almost looks like that could be on planet. I don't think it is, but it would be on the other side of the planet. I think that's too far away. Phone's blowing up with notifications. All right, where'd that silicon marker go? I swear I saw it for a second. Did I maybe assume that there was silicon here and mark it? And no, because I saw it. Where are you? Here somewhere. There you are. There's the hole. Okay. We'll obviously make that a little bigger and a little steeper angle. Alright, so because we landed without being somewhere where there's battery, we have to put our battery on. Over here now. It's our silicone hole. So let's kind of start maybe at this angle. Just drop down. Forward here. Start making our way towards some silicone. Well, that's a pretty... Is that nickel? What nickel, right? Let's turn our... Oops. Let's turn our ejector system on. Yeah, that is nickel. All right, well, we'll grab some nickel first. No sense blowing through it if we're right here anyway. All right. That means we are 85% full, but we have some stone to eject, so we'll get rid of it. We're no longer 85% full. How much stone do we have? A fair bit still. Get rid of it. We may have been picking up a fair bit of stone there because I think we had got through the nickel patch. May not be bad to get nickel first either because it probably processes faster than silicon. Okay, so we've got ourselves in a bit of a pickle here. We're not coming straight out of the hole. Just this is probably where the reverse camera would help, but let's head home. Drop this stuff off. Right direction. Yep. Well, please. Go. Turn off our forward thrusters so we can save some. It's foggy out. Let's turn our ejector system off. We don't need it on right now. Not the button. That's the button I wanted. Just flying in the fog is annoying. Spotlights on just in case. Put the thrusters on. Come in for a landing. There's a little spotlight on the base. We'll probably use another one of those. Swing around. And let's start our descent. I think we're going to make it back for a little less than 50%. Probably closer to 40% hydrogen, which is fine. And we're down. All right, so let's offload all this nickel. Let's make sure it gets pulled. Okay. That on the base. That. Hydrogen is full. How are our batteries? They're all recharged, which is not surprising. We don't use very many of them, and it shouldn't take them very long to recharge off of the base. So let's come back over. This time we'll get the silicon. with the snowstorm, I can't see. I'm flying by sensor at this point. I believe all our lights. I don't know if that helped at all, but right, so we're basically going to be scraping the ground. Sure, we're not literally scraping the ground. Okay. This was our hole for silicon. All right. Sure. No, this is magnesium. It's the double hole. So that's the nickel hole. So this is the silicon hole, which, oddly enough, is also the nickel hole. There's nickel in here. So let's maybe dig this out a little differently. Let's take it a different angle here. And we can go relatively vertical through this if we want to. We're going to blow through some nickel here. I don't really care. And we're missing the... Hang on. This is silicon, right? Yeah. First I thought we'd completely blown through it. Or I'm sorry, blown over top of it or past it. But we actually probably ground away a whole bunch. Let's try to level back out. We're getting a little sideways. Just because we can kind of go at odd angles, we really want to stay as flat and level as we can. Let's shut off for a second. We're not throwing any stone, so yeah, we just got a bunch of silicon. Put the nice and slow. Okay. That did make that a little easier. It's a good thing we had that. All right. Back to base, we're going to come up a little high. So that as we fly towards the base, if we overshoot this, we don't slam into the base and destroy everything. Because we didn't put a projector on the base, only the ships. May not be terrible to have a projector on the base, honestly. But when we inevitably crash into it, we're several hundred meters up. It's down. Before we connect up, I want to grab a couple handfuls of ore so that the base doesn't try to process it. Hold that in our pockets until we take off with our delivery ship. There's the base coming into view. Those are the situations where more lights on the base may not have been a bad choice. Let's get it lined up. And then, how much did we need? 477. Okay. So now we can land. About 40% fuel, which is fine. That will hopefully go off here in just a second. We may have to move some stuff by hand, though, for that to happen. Why is that light still going? That light should be triggered off. By this event controller. What's it still? Why didn't I see? Oh, because that was clicked. That was why. I'm a dummy. So now it goes off. There we go. Oh, okie dokie. Do this. Let's move some of that over because we need some more silicon to finish making some stuff, and then it can just kind of chill out from there. All right. So let's load up. So we know we have this in our pocket: 30 solar cells, 36 canvas. Just go ahead and jump in our ship. And say ship cargo. Container. Let's grab 36 canvas. We'll grab 30 solar cells. And I believe it was 187 girders. Double check that though before we leave. And 10 detector components. Where did those guys go? I swore I saw them getting made. Tech. There they are. We got 21. I guess I didn't need to make more of them. I already had enough. I want to check this 187 for the girders. That's the only one I'm not sure about. 89. Glad I looked. That would have been real annoying to be too short. When we got there. Okay, 189. Okay. So now let's head over to the outpost. We can take what's in our pockets now and throw there. Forward thrusters. Out a little bit. Oops. Got us a nice sunrise we get to fly into. Get to kind of see our ship. I think I like the paint job. We did pretty good on this one. Like I wasn't super sure about it first, but I do think I like it. I still kind of would like a new name for it, but I don't know what. Like I said, air hauler is just kind of boring. It's all right. We'll come up with something. Just go a little faster here. Clear some of these notifications that were popping up on my phone and whatnot. Try to pay attention and not slam into the mountainside. That would be also good. Oh, that was the wrong button. So that could have been real bad. We don't have any downward thrust. So if we were to flip this ship upside down, we wouldn't have a way to stay aloft. We'd have to spin real fast and hope for the best. We have a blueprint of it though, so rebuilding it wouldn't be as awful. Oh, we're coming real fast. Nope, we're good. Yeah, we parked on the left side before. We'll park on the right side here. Yeah, all right. I'm surprised I got lucky. I hit that like right on. All right, let's go. First, check for free stuff. Yeah, basic equipment, it's fine. Ooh, that's another thing. When you put an ATM on the base, so we can deposit money other places than just here. Free weapon and ammo, free money. We like free money. It's funny, like you can read all of this stuff, but you can't get into these lockers. Those are restricted. I can rummage around in someone's bed, but I can't rummage around in the locker. All right, yeah, let's do our missions first, then we'll see what the store has. So finish from the air hauler. Finish from air hauler. Finish from air hauler. Finish from air hauler. Finish from air hauler. All right. Now, what's available to us? Again, we're really just looking for acquisitions. Bunch of motors, we could probably do that pretty easy. Platinum, we can't do, unfortunately, because that's good money. Construction components, that'd be easy. Let's explosives we could do. That's real good money for a lot of items. Gold. There is gold near us. But we haven't mined yet. That might be a good excuse to go mine some. So, okay. This is barely worth accepting, but it's free money and reputation. So the more reputation, we get better deals and better prices. So let's accept that. Accept that. Let's accept the gold because we can go get it now. We have everything we need to do that. So we're just going to accept everything except that platinum. That'd been bad. I don't want to do that. Okay. Well, except there's really nothing. Those I need to be in space and have a jump drive for. Search missions, not really. Which I mean, maybe they could be worth it since we're going to be doing some of that anyway. But all right, let's see what we got. Ooh, data pads. That's what I was looking for last time. Zone chips are neat. Not helping us right now, but so this protection zone that we're in, this field, it requires zone chips to work, and they only last for so long. It takes some amount of time for them to boot up. So basically, if you're gonna use a shield or a safe zone, you kind of want enough to like run constantly. I mean, I actually forget how long one. I think one zone chip is an hour or something like that, which on a single player is fine. You can that runs for quite a while. On a server, the clock never stops, so um, you don't get nearly as much time with it. But these are nice to have on a server. I would assume I've never actually played server side, uh, because then you can keep your stuff safe. People can't mess with your stuff. Uh, I don't need power kits. I think I can make power kits, so I'm not worried about those. But let's just buy all 16 of these data pads. There's probably some duplicates in there, but that's okay. And I don't think we want to buy a ship right now. We got 8 mil, but I don't think we need to spend it on that. Okay. In these lockers, we can't get in. They're access denied. Because access denied, we also can't grind because we're in a safe zone. We can't build because we're in a safe zone. We can't drill because we're in a safe zone. We can't get through this door. So we can't get to that armory, this armory block, but I don't think that actually matters because, oh, hang on, maybe we can't. I didn't think we could reach that. Awesome. I don't know that I've ever tried to reach that now that I think about it, because I always thought it was inside there. I don't think I ever tried to like fly and do what I just did. Learning things. Okay. So let's get out of here. Get home and look at the information in our data pads when we get there. So battery on. Take off. Turn off our forward thrust. And head towards home. Don't do that. You're gonna drink. could swing over and get that unknown signal, but oh, yeah, I guess we could. So we're gonna want to get back, make sure our ship is recharged, and then do a little scouting. So similar to the supply post that we have on screen or on our left, I want to find some other bases, but ideally ones that are already uh, hostile towards us. Basically, we don't mind if our enemies like us less, that's fine, but we don't want our friends to like us less. That is not as fine. Yep. Press the button. Cow rifle. Different style plushie. These plushies are just pure decoration. Throw them on something. Maybe set one up in the base somewhere. Might not be the worst thing to do with one. Alright. Back in our ship. Oh, that was landing. Take off. Take off. Back to home base. That was an ore patch of some kind right there. So you can tell the ore patches because they're basically discolorations on the map. And when I first started playing, like I couldn't tell them apart. And I'd watch people play like, oh, it's real obvious once you tell. It's just this discolored patch, blah blah blah. And then like the more I've played, the more it has become a little more obvious where they are. The snow makes it pretty easy. They're a lot harder to see on like the grass, which we've yet to see in this playthrough really. A little further. Huh? Mist still. There we go. Land. Okay, let's dump our stuff. Get rid of all that. Nothing else. We're going to hold on to this. We're going to look at our data pads. Oh, we're going to build an ATM. Let's do that real quick. I think I have. Yeah, I have access to it. And let's put it right out here. Also, this way, if anybody ever comes to visit us, they can also get their money if they owe us money. All for space credits. That's all wrong buttons. There we go. It's like 83,000. 83,000 I had. Deposit. Deposit. There we go. That's all the cash we have. Deposited. So now let's look at these. So these are all additional stations. Some might be on planets, some might be across the solar system, essentially. Most likely, most of them will be in. Some of them will be in space, but we can essentially get these GPS markers from them. Next one, too. So a station lost some of its clients due to some conflicts of interest between factions and is now looking for new hires. Interested? This is where you should go. So most likely this is going to have more contract work that we could do. A friend of mine who works on a remote station called in saying he has some contracts ready. They pay good amount, so if you can, or if you are looking for a job, then that's the place to go. Good luck. So again, contracts. I happen to know a guy who knows a guy with some good deals. Real quality stuff, you know? But doesn't look like you'll be getting anywhere near this place to profit from these deals, so I will sell you the data if you're interested. So this maybe will have like better shop items, more shop items, and it's very possible that this text is completely irrelevant. So you're looking for more jobs or trade? Sure, we can sort you out. Take a look at this place. It is a bit remote, but rumor goes that pilots find good opportunities there. So like that would make me think that maybe this has more hauling missions. So this is a similar message. Station lost some of its clients due to some conflicts of interest between factions and is now looking for new hires. Interested? This is where you should go. Looking for reliable contracts, good trades, or just making good money? You are in luck. Opportunity awaits at these coordinates. But I happen to know a guy who knows a guy with some good deals. Got that one already. A friend of mine who works at a remote station called to say he has some contracts ready. Already read that one. Or a similar message. Read that specific one. So looking for more jobs or trade. Yep. Yeah, basically just gonna set these. I think that's used to visit this place at a regular basis during my engineering days, and they always had some good deals available. Go see if they are still at it. Some merchants keep bragging about some really good deals at a station he's been visiting, but will not spill the details. However, I happened to stumble on his navigation computer during maintenance shift. This position kept popping up. Go see if there's any truth to what that merchant said. Knows a guy, knows a guy. Yep. Plenty of work available if you know where to look. You should investigate this place. I heard there's a shortage of couriers. So again, I would expect hauling missions. Stations lost some clients due to a conflict. Alright, so that should be all of them. So we had 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, 15. We bought 16 at this duplicate. Well, we had another duplicate in there, but something must have swapped. But now we have all of these. How many we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So out of all those, we have 9. So we had several duplicates in there. That's okay. We didn't pay hardly anything for those. So now the trick is see if there's any of them that might even be close to where we are. We do not have all of them shown. So let's just, yeah. R-O, is that a D? R-O-D-W? We've never met them. We don't know what their name is. And Skiv. Skiv, Secret Inventors. They probably have some cool stuff. Which I think Skiv is Skiv is where we're currently going. So they had vehicles, military mining. So that'd be more vehicle. These will probably be more vehicle places. These we don't know yet. Let's see, where are those located? So 8,500 Ks that way. 5,700 Ks that way. And another 8,600 Ks that way. So none of these are accessible. They're all in space. They're all real far away. Like those aren't even options for us now. No clue what planet those are on. Let's see about these. Hang on, that just counted 9. One of those disappeared. That's interesting. So that one's pretty far away. Also pretty far away. It's pretty far away. So nothing in our local vicinity. I am gonna click back through those because I feel like we had more items. So I'll make sure that we didn't somehow lose some GPS markers here. That's what I thought. Just show all these. Chances are that they're all going to be way far away. Now, those aren't too bad. Those look like those are probably both on Mars, or right around Mars. And then that's real far away. Okay. Let's turn those off. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's what it counted the first time. I think that's probably more accurate, or more correct. So let's tell you what though, just for funsies, let's look through these one more time just to make sure we're not missing anything that we paid for. We paid. And now that's back. So something's going on weird with the inventory because no, there's just doubled up. I don't know. One of those is like stacking and unstacking randomly. Okay. Yep, nothing new. All right, cool. And we could just trash those, but I think we'll store them right here in our bookshelf. They can chill out there. All right. So let's look at board. We always want to check on missions. Scout for fighter bases. OSHA review. What did we say we were going to do when we were flying over here? And I said we put it on the list. Already forgotten. That's why we have a list. Oh, this wasn't what I was thinking of, but solar array. I thought about setting a plushie around somewhere. I don't know if I can set it. They're small grid. I'm not sure if I can set them on a large grid block or not. Let's just see. Maybe I can. Let's see if there's a fun spot we can set our little engineer. I don't know if he can. We just kind of, we can drop him, I guess, anywhere. Grind him to pick him up? Yeah. That would make perfect sense. That's how we pick everything up in the game. Every block up in the game. So we could set one somewhere, but probably not worth it. Let's fill up some hydrogen. Again, I normally don't decorate with the plushies, so I actually wasn't even entirely sure how they worked. Still refining that. So yeah, that's why I mentioned the silicon takes a little while to refine. Was there anything wild in here that we needed to gold run mine for? But we're going to go for bases first. So let's look at our batteries. They're fully charged. So let's see if we can't. So we know there's a supply post over there. Let's maybe fly over this way. Because a lot of times stuff won't spawn until you get close enough to it. And then it will. So we'll just do a little bit of flying here just to see. If we can find something over this way. I might just make one trip. I might, if we don't find anything of remote interest, let's turn our board detector on just in case. But if we don't find anything of any kind of interest at all, I might do some of this off stream. It's just flying around in random directions is not overly entertaining, most likely. We'll stick to the more progress-oriented gameplay. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's definitely ore deposits and stuff over this way, which is a good thing to know. But we also want to be careful if we do see anything, any kind of base. Some of them will spawn fighter drones. We really don't want to fight them with this if we don't have to. And we could throw a turret on top of this ship. That would help a bunch, but kind of as it is currently built, not the strongest fighter. It's just some weird ground textures. Like I said, I'm really not interested in taking on that supply outpost, just because we are on friendly terms with them, and I don't want to become enemies with them if we don't have to. Now, the other thing is, I don't know what the limit is on spawns like that. I don't know if because that one is active, if others won't. So I might have to go into like an admin menu and just delete it. I'm not against doing that. Uh, if we're never going to interact with it, it's just kind of is in the way. I'm not really seeing anything. But we did basically just pick a direction and hope for the best. That's not really great. Um, this stuff is not supposed to generate, all over the place. So no big surprise that nothing generated. We may also go a little closer to the ground. That could also help. So we fly back, see if maybe that helps. We may also build a car because we're definitely close to the ground with that. We can't go as fast in a wheeled buggy as we can in the ship, um, but we can still make some progress with it. Closer to the ground here. Just see. I mean, I have seen multiple uh, bases spawn at a time, so I'm fairly positive it's not limited to one. But like I said, I don't really know what the limit is. Now we're a little closer to the ground. Might help with the spawning of things. But not really seeing it. So I think we'll make it back. Go mine some of that gold that we're gonna need for the mission that we got. Gold's pretty heavy, so we may actually have to be a little careful with our ship with it. Um, got excited when a GPS marker popped up. Oh man, thought we got lucky for a second. No dice. Also, we're apparently still too high up for our. Yeah, we're just now starting to get information from the ore detector. We passed over a couple ore patches, didn't get anything, so we were too high up. I think it's a 50-meter range, so I'm not surprised because we are 80 meters up. Silicon, so maybe not. I don't know. There's some silicon, magnesium. Now we may have to do a little bit of extra digging out for this gold because gold and silver are usually a little lower, a little deeper. So we may have to make a couple passes, make a pretty big tunnel to get to it. Let's prepare to land. Yeah, yeah, close. There we go. And land. Well, all right. You know what? Let's fly over to this unknown signal. We'll do it with a jetpack. And we're going to actually, I don't know why the antenna on our hauling ship is still turned on. We need to flip that off just so it's one less signal on screen. Yep. No surprise, we get anything. Little credits, interior plate. Hopefully we can carry all this because the antenna components are usually kind of fat. They take up a lot of space, but looks like we'll be good. There we go. All right, back to base. On to some gold mining. Drop this stuff off. We'll fill up our. Let's. Clean all that inventory up. 2 gens. Cool. All right. Let's fill our. Oop, where did that go? Probably. Yeah, probably there. That's where it should have went. Okay. Now GPS. Where is gold? I can see that. We know where that is. It's over there. All right. Let's take off. Turn off our forward thrust. Head towards the goal. Now, what could be pretty neat is if it's in the side of this mountain, we might be able to kind of drill at it. Basically drop low enough and drill straight in. Not from several hundred meters away, though. Okay. So let's land. Get maybe a better idea. Turn my let's land so we can ban the bot. Bad bot. Okay. I like how it didn't pick. For some reason, my ore detector on the ship won't pick this up, but my hand drill will. Right, so that's the other thing about gold is it's usually a really thin ring. So that's dropped like. Let's see. Let's see if we can't drill relatively flat. So mostly straight in and see what the chances of us hitting this gold are. It already looks like we're probably above it. and further away from it. Okay, so that was not the right height. There's like 20 meters down, so we need to go back here until we're roughly 20 meters, 25 meters above the surface. Let's dig in at this angle. Too much. Now let's see if we hit it. How close we get to hitting it. So, I guess I should point out while we're doing this, we're right-click mining. So, if I use my right mouse button, it just more quickly and in a bigger area chews out the voxel, the ground. If we use our left click, that's when we can actually collect the resources. It's slower and has a smaller, essentially, area of attack. So for tunnels and that sort, we right click mine, and we can do that with our hand drill as well. So if this doesn't work, we overshoot the gold. We can drill essentially straight down to it, and then start kind of mining out in a disc, because the gold's going to be a bit further away again. The gold's going to be in a fairly flat disc. Get closer to that deposit though, so there must be maybe 2 deposits here. Also, the direction of the indicators are, hey, that's gold. All right, so now let's turn on our ejector system. And also with gold, you collect a lot of stone. Gold's fairly heavy, but we're at an advantage in that we get to stay fairly level to the ground now because of the way we came in. We should be all right. Yeah, getting some nice gold. And you can see how much slower this is. When we did the silicon, we were completely full of silicon in like a couple seconds. That's the other thing too. We want to watch our hydrogen. Let's turn that off. It's because of the stone that were heavy. Gold. Let's try to level our ship out here a little bit. Good. Grab that. Kind of widen our hole out here. that empty out a little bit. What do we got? How much gold? Not a lot. Still primarily stone. Let's go just a little bit more, and then we're going to go back because that hydrogen. Actually, I guess I could turn on our O2 generator. We had a little bit of ice there in process. Right around 30%, we're going to call it, head back, and hopefully that's sufficient. Actually, we might do it right there. Here's the question: did we make the hole wide enough that we can turn around in it? I don't think we did. So, time for backup camera. Discussed, because we stayed fairly flat in our. We can just kind of come straight out of that. Okay. At home. If we start getting dangerously low on hydrogen, we just can stop and get ice. We're still making a little bit. If we get to like 15%, we will land and collect some. It doesn't look like that's going to be an issue. Let's go back. So I'm tempted. Now that we are going to have some gold, we might want to make some superconductors. And if we make and we make them so that we can make yield modules, on our refinery rather than speed modules. If we have yield modules, we just flat out get more gold, or get more product. In this instance, it's gold. To make a speed module, however, or I'm sorry, a yield module, we need gold. We would need 13.3 for our first one. So what we can do, so we have enough for our first one. So why don't we, let's turn off the refinery. And let's make one. Why is that refinery not off? Off. So let's remove this and replace it with, actually take two of them off. So we probably have enough now for two. We're pretty close. And let's replace those with a yield module. Stuff for those. So we're going to need 40 superconductors. Which is fine. So let's put those. Could we put into production? Why not? You absolutely can make yield mod or superconductors. I don't have to. There's like a progression thing for those, right? Nope. Like I opened all the yield modules when I did that. Did I actually turn the assembler off? I turned the assembler off. That's why. I'm a dum-dum. That's why I couldn't do it. How much gold do we have altogether? This says 16. It's pulling that, so we might have enough for both of them. Did. Sweet. So now we can turn this. How much do we have? If we have enough for a third, we'll do the third. We do not. Okay, but what we'll do is go ahead and take both of these guys off.
Inventory full.
Start building up the new yield modules so we can kind of build them as it's going. Yep. Okay. Now let's turn this guy on. We'll kind of pull these superconductors out as we can. That's going to be a lot slower. Each one of those speed modules essentially acted like another refinery, if I understand it correctly. So having 4 speed modules on that meant it was running as though it were 5 actual refineries. So it's going to be quite a bit slower now. That's okay for what we're doing here, because we'd like to take advantage of that slowness by getting this yield module built as soon as it can. so we don't kind of waste any of our gold ore. Come on. Two more. Come on. Okay, cool. So now we just gotta get that one built up. And since we're able to do yield modules now, it might be worth building an additional refinery. Maybe even one block over and build it through here, maybe. Or could move this engine and build it off the side. Or maybe we don't worry about it. Because it only really matters, like in this exact instance where we want more of this coal right now. Most of the time, it's not going to really matter. Almost there. There we go. All right, so now our speed's at 130, but our yield's at 200%. So we get essentially double resources from the ore that we feed it. But it's a little slow. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Let's hide that marker because we're gonna get there. Might actually dig some ice. Although we got plenty of. How full is this tank? Let me not worry about it because if we essentially I could dig right here to open this gap up and that would completely fill us up with ice. To the point that I may even want to put a secondary tank or secondary storage just to hold that ice if we do dig that and remove it. Alright, so what were we? We want 214 gold. How much do we have? So we used quite a bit, right? Making all those superconductors. So it was like per yield module was 13 and a half. So 27 is 54 gold. But we currently have 3, and how much? So we got a little bit left to process. But that's not gonna. We don't need a lot of gold. As far as for things that we make, we're not going to be making thruster components. We're going to have platinum anyway. So it's superconductors. Silver. So gravity components, which we also don't really need to make many of. I think those only get used in gravity gens and fish tanks. We could throw a fish tank in the base, but we don't need gravity gens because we're on a planet with gravity. It would be nice to have one of those before we go to space. That's not too hard to deal with. That's still a ways away. So those are the only things that take those. I think, yeah. So as far as supercomponents go, it's the yield modules and jump drives. They're superconductors, and I think laser antennas. I think are about the only things that actually use those. I think the tools need platinum. Yeah, I know the tools need platinum. So yeah, so really we're just looking for enough gold to fulfill this contract right now. And oops, what should I say we needed? I keep forgetting. 214. I don't know if we're gonna have enough, so we might make another gold run while we're here. While we're in the mood for it. On the plus side, we won't need to use as much hydrogen this time because we already kind of know where we're headed. We've already dug it out, so we can kind of get in and out a little quicker. Shelves down. Some lights on. See if we can find our entrance hole. Real quick. Are we throwing out ice? No, just stone. So I tell you what we might do. Is we might go ahead and grab some ice right here. Turn on our still grab a little bit. Grab a little bit of ice. Okay. So that might help us at least a little bit. So we'll be filling up a little bit of our ice while we're in here chilling. So let's turn our injectors on. It's on. Let's get this gold while we can easily pump down. Hopefully we can dig this out enough that we can spin around so we can have to reverse up here. We can just fly straight out. It'd be nice. Gotta remember to drink a little more water, especially while I'm rambling. Um, it's already something I forget. It's weird. I watch other people play, and they'll have like reminders for it and whatnot. Seems like it would be a very simple thing to remember to do, but for whatever reason, it isn't. Doing pretty good here. Getting this really kind of bored out. All right, let's cut it. Take our stone out. Actually, while we're doing that, we actually not waste hydrogen. Let our injectors basically empty all the way out. Then we'll take off again. Is that all? Right. So let's thrusters on. On. Back out. We definitely prefer doing this in third person because that is not fun to watch. It's probably needs like a seizure warning on it. Which is also why we want to figure out the tops here. Because if we get too close to the voxel, voxel being the ground, so for that, if we get too close to the voxel, we can't stay in third person. We get forced into the cockpit while we're mining. And we don't really want that. It's not great. Do a little extra here. Go to maybe about 45% and then head home. That should give us quite a bit of gold to be fine. We'll go ahead and start getting turned around here. Probably enough. Let's go ahead and even turn off our injectors. We don't mind refining a little bit of stone when we get back. We don't really need it, but we mind it. It's not going to hurt us to carry it back, so we may as well. it's still worth resources. At some point, we may have to kick the gravel out of our system, and we can do that by just maybe throwing it into one of our iron holes or something. Yeah, waited too long. Came in a little hot. Was not counting on our mass. We are carrying a lot of gold. Well, there's a lot of everything, really. Gold's pretty heavy. Nicer. Yep. And now let's empty out this inventory. Go. Let's go ahead and even throw the ice. Okay. And I'm tempted to turn those on, but I might wait a little bit longer because they're going to automatically try to fill those oxygen bottles we got. I don't really want to do that. Like as soon as they start having things to pull, they'll pull them and it'll be weird. Just don't want it, so we won't. Let's see how much gold we have though. We had like 11K left. Yeah, I don't think we would have had enough to get our 200 and some that we need. I think that was a good choice to go get more. At some point, we might need to organize this a little better. All right. So what are we doing? Missions, OSHA, solar power. We could do little OSHA fixes here. So it is silly, but hey, we want to be safe. So last thing we want to do is climb up here and fall, or even worse, be up here and fall. That could hurt. So let's do some railings and some catwalks. So and we're gonna need some construction components to make all these. So. Let's grab a couple of steel plates, interior, construction components, small tubes. All right, see how far that gets us. I think for here, we could do a little platform, but I don't know that we even need that. So we could just throw an actual railing. I think that's the thing to do. So now we're safe there. And then as we come up here, we got some options. So we're not going to be able to build anything on this side, unfortunately, because this block is almost certainly in the way. So I don't think we can place anything on this side. Oh, we can. I'm a liar. We can do that. Let's put a walkway that gives us access to our small tubes. So let's make like 100 of those. But I need some. So now we have a walkway out to here. We might. No. Might even be nicer if we do it this way. Then we can. Actually, let's do one railing. And we'll do another one of those. Maybe. One more will get us. Let's see here. We want. There. Do it like that. Yeah, put it that way. Right, so now we can walk over to our roof. Which still not quite OSHA compliance because this is potentially dangerous, but could put stuff up here, right? Yeah. So if we do that, actually not want that. Let's do. What? Why can't I place that? I placed. It had something there like a second ago. I don't understand. I need to remove this one. Now will you let me put that there? Oops. Okay. So now I can put that there. And we'll put that back there. Put these right here. That one. More small steel tubes. Okay. Put those in. Make. All right. And then I should probably have a railing here. Any construction components. All right. There we go. So now we have a little bit of OSHA compliance. I could do this. Oops. Nope. That's loaded up for a reason. If that's the case, we can just put. Let's just grab. Oh, I have steel plates. That'll work. And that means that all of these have the wrong texture on them. I wasn't even paying attention. Okay, there we go. Yeah, do not want. I don't want our safety rails made of concrete. All right, so then I have to come build same thing as that. There we go. All right, now we got to make this safe. So we could just do a couple rails on either side of it, which I think is what we will do for right now. Let's grab that. Okay. Nope. Nope. All right. Hey, there we go. So we are at least a bit more OSHA compliant now. But we're going to leave that on our checklist because it's something that we want to kind of check back on regularly to make sure that we are still OSHA compliant. So the next question is, do we build the solar array? And if we do, where do we build it from? Because it needs a lot of space to function properly. I don't know if we really gonna want to start that tonight. Let's check on how much gold we have. Maybe we run another contract mission and then call it a night. All right, we have enough. So let's see what else we need. 14 silicone. We have 445 interior plates. I don't know if we have that many. We have some, but we do not. So let's just throw 500 interior plate. We have tons of iron, so I'm not worried about that. 14 explosives. Now we don't have any explosives made, so let's make those. Those are under. Those are under. Right there. 14 explosives. 674 construction components. I know we don't have that many either. Let's see, we have 300 some. So let's make 600 construction components. Why do I keep hitting the wrong button? And 417 motors. I sincerely doubt we have that many motors. Oh, we do. 500. Let's just go ahead and make like 200 motors though. So those are out of the way. Alright, let's hop on our ship. Check again. 14 silicon wafers and 445 plates. 14, 445. 14 and 445. 14, 445. Okay. Then 214 and 14. 14 and 14. There's the 14. 214. Okay. 674 and 417. 674, 417. 674, 417. 674, 417. So let's grab 417 of these. 674. 674. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 contracts. Okay. Let's make one last trip over to not gold. It's right over there, but let's fix our GPS. Items, show that. So let's not hit our wind turbines. Let's head over this way. Okay. Make our flight. Pick up some new contracts, and then make it back to base. That'll put us right around the 3-hour mark. I think that's probably sufficient. I'm starting to get a little hungry. Like I said, I might do some hunting of bases, maybe off stream time. That's kind of not a lot going on, just flying around. And I'm probably going to go into the just so some other stuff may spawn. I think I'm going to go and remove that supply post only because I don't intend on doing anything with it, and so it's just kind of there taking up what I assume are spawn limits. And I try not to use the admin menu to like spy on stuff or see what things are out there, because you can kind of jump around to objects and items. I will do it if I like lose a ship in space or something, just because if you accidentally get too far away and you don't have your antennas or beacons going, like, you will never find a ship in space. And that's just not fun. So I will definitely do it for that in those cases, but I try not to use it to like essentially cheat my way into stuff if I can help it. Granted, it's a single player game, or at least as I'm playing it, so I don't know that really anything is considered cheating. I'm allowed to do whatever I want, so it doesn't affect anyone else. It'd be different if it was giving me advantage on another player, but it isn't. I mean, I could turn creative mode on at any point if I wanted, but so we're gonna do this before the shop potentially changes. We're gonna buy this welder. Now we already have an elite welder, but we can break this down for the platinum and build us an elite grinder and or a hand drill. So it's a good way to kind of get a little bit of material there. It's not enough to really do anything else with, but it will help us in that regard. So we'll be able to deconstruct that and make a better tool. All right, from the hauler, from the air hauler, from the air hauler, from the air hauler. Last one. Okay. What new acquisition missions do we have? More gold? We can do that. Already got it, so sure. I wish we had that much platinum. That would be a good boost to our funds, but that's not an option. Bulletproof glass is pretty much just silicon. We have a bunch of that, so sure. No other bunch of hauling missions. And search missions. The search missions are nicer. I see people play like suit only or economy only starts, so you just don't have anything really. So you can get a fair bit of money fairly quick doing those if you don't have any other option. But if you have other options, you really don't need to do those. It's just not. I mean, you can think about it. They're 30 to 50,000 a piece. This is 2 million. So you'd have to do like 20 search missions just for having a big chunk of silicon. They're just not really worth it once you can get anywhere in the game. Once you've made any amount of real progress. No ammo. Alright, let's head back to base. Think about anything we've forgotten that we wanted to do. If we've forgotten anything we wanted to do. That we can add to our board of things that need done. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any that we need to remember to look into or build. If we do find a base that we're going to kind of attack, we may build a specific attack ship for that, but we won't know until we find something that we're going to scavenge what we're going to need anyway, so don't worry about building that so we can be purpose built. I would like to at least scavenge one base before we start building our way off this planet. We'll need to build a hydrogen ship that can carry us off world with all the essentially a small mobile base. So we'll probably use large grid, which is what our base is built on. It's a little more expensive. We don't want to get too wild with it, but it needs a fair bit of things if we're going to survive in space. Now we can find all resources in space, but we want to make sure that we're not immediately dependent on finding stuff. We have a fully stocked planet here, so we want to make sure we take plenty of resources with us when we go. Yep. Land. Out. Oops. And out. There we go. All right. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it. These are still things that we need to do. Could always paint some more of the base maybe, but it's not too bad. Like I don't mind the base in this kind of boring gray. That almost feels right. But we could do that. What's our tank at? 75%, so we're probably good there, but we could maybe collect some ice. Do something with that. What I might do when I decide that, I might move our oxygen bottles over to our hauler and disconnect it, and then turn these O2 gens on so they don't try to fill all those oxygen bottles. It's a little bit of a waste of ice to fill them. Not a lot, but a little. All right, I think we're gonna come in here. Lights on. We'll do our normal little bit of TV time here before we head out, but I think that's probably gonna do it for us. Let's pop over here. Yeah, I appreciate everybody who stopped in, and hopefully everyone had a good time. I'm still trying to figure out the follower bit because I'm noticing it seems like numbers are going up slowly. Every now and then, like I have an extra one, but not getting notifications for it, so I don't really know where they're coming from. But hopefully I'm not missing them. I think I have my alert boxes correct, so I should be getting notification. I should be seeing stuff happen, but I'm gonna feel really, really bad if I am missing those because I do appreciate anybody that swings by. Hopefully they have a good time. We're just trying to create a chill place to hang out. But yeah, we'll until next time, I guess we will see everybody later.